So Longlegs is the brand new horror film from Osgood Perkins, he of the Son of Psycho fame. And this film stars Nicolas Cage and Maika Monroe, and Maika Monroe plays Detective Lee Harker, who is a FBI agent who is able to see visions of the serial killer, which she's been introduced to this case of. And along the way, she'll find a connection with the killer and a lot more. And I really did enjoy this movie. It's got a load of fun, scenes in it. It's got a lot of, thought-provoking, scenes in it. It's got a few good kills. And overall, the acting is bloody phenomenal. So, let's get into this review. So, this is going to be my spoiler review for Longlegs. If you haven't seen the film, you may not want to watch this video. Instead, why not click just up here and watch my spoiler-free review for Longlegs, because that one has zero spoilers, and it's literally just me going over what I liked about the film, non-spoilery talk. This is going to be full spoilers, going every little bit of the movie that I enjoyed, every little bit of the movie that I didn't enjoy, just going over everything. So, this is your last warning, spoilers ahead for Longlegs. So, the film begins in 1970s Oregon, where a little girl with a Polaroid camera follows a mysterious voice behind her house, and she's then approached by a erratic man with a pale face, which she sees in his car, just down her road, and she then just takes a picture of him, I guess, and then, he's like, it's your birthday in a few days. Yeah, birthdays are really big in the whole storyline of Longlegs. I wouldn't be surprised if the working title for this film was just The Birthday Killer or something like that. That would be the name of this film if it was in the 80s or something. And yeah, the film is very reminiscent of early thriller and horror films, kind of detective movies such as Seven, Silence of the Lambs, God, what's his name? Zodiac. And yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of like a throwback, but it is not a horror movie, and I'm gonna say that now. It's got some scary bits in it if you're jumpy, but if you're a big horror fan like me and you go into this expecting the scariest film of the year, it isn't the scariest film of the year. It probably is one of the best films of the year, but it's not the scariest film of the year. But I do still believe that this film had some great bloody marketing, because it's so able to get a load of people to go see this little indie movie, so that's pretty good. And yeah, the film is stylized in these three different segments. One, his letters. Two, which I don't remember the name of. And three, which I also don't remember the name of. So let me quickly Google them. Because it's actually really cool to see how, the film is able to, mix together, old visuals with new visuals. It will have bits where it's in the past, and then it's, in a small little frame. They'll have bits in, modern day, where the camera extends. I thought that was really cool, especially during, the opening sequence. The opening sequence, as I said, it follows a young girl, and then the pale Longlegs guy comes, played by Nick Cage. And then, the opening, thing starts where he, jumps in front of the camera. And that's probably the photo that she takes, which we later see in the film. And that's really smart, because then, we just get a red screen and it slowly extends. That is just, one of my favourite parts of the movie. Because I just thought it was really cool to see, the mix of old visuals and new visuals. It was really, really well done. Alright, so after doing a bit of research, I can't really find anyone talking about, the different chapters, but from what I can remember, the first chapter is called His Letters, and in this chapter we see, in the 1990s, a newly recruited FBI agent, Lee Harker, is, on her first mission case, with this other, detective. So, they're looking for a murderer. And so they're in this neighborhood and they're knocking door to door, hey, have you seen this man? And then Lee's just like, it's that house. Yeah, she's somehow able to know that immediately. So they go to that house, and her detective partner knocks on the door, and he's instantly shot in the head. And Lee is then like hyperventilating, hiding away, and then she like grabs a gun and starts looking around the house trying to find the guy. And then she just like she finds him and she arrests him, and then the rest of the FBI is just like, how the hell were you able to do that? And then she's like, I don't know, magic. But yeah, after this, she gets to go through a few testings to like see if she's possibly psychic, and along with this, we get to see a few really cool visuals. Like in this bit, she's like looking at all these different images, and then like she has to guess the different numbers, just randomly, like what 0 to 100, 1 to 100, things like that. And she's able to get it right 8 out of 8 times, and as a result, she is assigned to a decade-spanning case of brutal murder-suicides involving families throughout the state of Oregon. Each incident had the father murder his wife and children before taking his own life, and left at the murder scene was a letter with cryptic satanic coding that is signed Longlegs. And the handwriting belongs to none of the victims, and despite no forensic evidence of any home invasion or outside parties present, this guy somehow gotten in there, so they gotta figure out how. And it was at this point where I started putting together some of the pieces already, like, quite early on, but I only put together about half the puzzle. So, Harker then swiftly connects similarities between each of the families. Each had at least one 9-year-old daughter, not daughter, born on the 14th of each month. And the murders all occurred within 6 days before or after the birthday itself. And when written out on a linear calendar, the dates of the murders form an occult symbol of an inverted triangle, with one date missing to complete the shape. So with this clue, Harker and her superior unearth a doll buried at one of the old crime scenes, which is like this farmhouse. And in this farmhouse, they look around and they have to like look for these certain things. They go through this kind of rhyme, and the like answer to this rhyme is like X marks the spot. So they follow all the X's in the house. They ultimately find a cross, and once they pull up the cross and a few other floorboards, they find this doll. And this doll was like one of the jump scares which got my sister, because she was sat next to me while we watched this, because my dad didn't want to go. She was just like, oh, I'll go then. So we were just watching it, and like the eyes open up, and I was just like, oh, haha, cool. But she jumped, so it was kind of funny. But inside its head, they find a strange metal orb, and Harker sees violent psychic flashes when they interact with it with like this little device. And the examiner then admits that he thought he could hear his ex-wife speaking to him earlier, while near the doll, of course. But it's just because he thinks he's tired. He doesn't sleep a lot nowadays. And despite her superior skepticism, Harker theorizes that each family received a similar doll from Longlegs, and he's been infusing the orbs within each doll with some sort of evil energy that can possess and influence those near it, which is spot bloody on. And while visiting her mother Ruth, Harker finds a chest in her childhood bedroom containing a stack of Polaroids. Among them is a picture of the pale-faced man, revealing Harker to be the girl from the opening. And now knowing that she was visited by Longlegs, she knows that she is the final piece of the triangle. She's the missing date. She was the one who should have died. And that then allows the FBI to track him down and arrest him. And this is where we get some bloody top-notch acting from Nicolas Cage. Because he's really just wanting to see Harker. And we literally... They're all just sat in a room, and then there's just a video playing with Longlegs. And he's just singing their happy birthday. And then he just looks straight at the camera and goes, there she is! The almost birthday girl, something like that. I don't know. I can't do the voice that he was doing. I could call up the number because like they have it on, they have it on the number, but I'm not going to. I should have done a video theorizing for that, because like I knew birthdays had something to do with it after I heard that, because like It's either that or he's just a nonce who kidnaps girls before their birthday. That's what I was thinking. But yeah. So they then arrest him, and he expresses his desire to see Harker. And in the interrogation room, um, Harker goes in there, and she's having a little chat with him, where he's once again doing that typical Nick Cage acting, which kind of made me laugh. You know, it kind of did take me away from it. This is like where some of the like issues with the plot and like the pacing and stuff were, because the tone of the film was also a bit over the place in this bit. But yeah. So he then tells her that she has to like figure out who the man downstairs is, basically, because that's who he serves. That is who it is. Who's his accomplice? That, she's asking who's your accomplice. You couldn't have done it by yourself. So after wishing her a happy birthday and telling her to ask her mother about potential accomplices, he says, "Hail Satan!" and he repeatedly smashes his head on the table, killing himself. Like, this was one of the most unexpected parts of the film, because he is straight up just going... I can't really, like, do it myself, because I've got my microphone here and I don't want to bash my head on my desk, so I'm going to do it with the ghost face mask. Here's what he does. Oh, I forgot to do the Hail Satan, hang on. Hail Satan. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, so after he does that, she goes outside, and her higher up just screams at her, "Now we got no one, all those families dead for nothing." And so he's just like, I'm all annoyed now, I'm just gonna walk off angrily. So she's just there, like, Jesus Christ, that guy just killed himself right in front of me. He just don't care though, he's just being a dick. So Harker's then just left there, and she has to go with this other detective, who, in this film, I'm pretty sure was just like the higher up of the higher up or something. So her and the other agent then go to her mother to ask her about her connections to Longlegs. So Harker is driven to the house because she's not being let. She's just not allowed to drive there because she literally just saw someone kill themselves right in front of her eyes. So Lee then goes inside while the agent waits outside in the car, and then she looks out the window because she just heard a gunshot. And her mother murdered the agent with a shotgun. Lee then races outside to find her mum shooting the head of a doll resembling a young Harker from the introduction. When she does, Harker loses consciousness, and we then get a once upon a time story time with Harker's mum, as it's revealed that Ruth has been Longlegs' accomplice ever since Lee's encounter with him. Longlegs returned in the night to attack and subdue Ruth, forcing her to make a choice: let her daughter be murdered as part of the ritual, or to do his bidding to spare her. So she complied, leaving Harker to be the missing birthday on the triangle, and Longlegs has lived in Harker's basement ever since, creating dolls he would infuse with his satanic magic to give to Ruth, who is Harker's mum, who would pose as a nun delivering a gift from the church, bringing the dolls to families, and once the dolls were there, Longlegs was able to see through and able to do his dark magic stuff and his satanic influence over the dad, where he would then kill the mum and the daughter before killing himself. And yeah, it's a shocking twist, and it's utterly insane how well they did execute it there. Because, like, I was kind of expecting, like, her to just tell her, but no. She tells it in a very weird way. It's like a voiceover with, like, a load of flashbacks, with, like, her doing it in, like, a story-esque way. Like, it's as if she's trying to explain it to a child, is what I'm saying. It's like she's trying to explain how she helped murder, like, 7 different families to a 6-year-old kid. Like, oh yeah, once upon a time, mom was out, she didn't like these families, so she gave them this doll. And then this awesome doll sent them to sleep. Yeah, so Awakening in the basement, though, Harker then answers the phone to hear, "You're late for Ruby's birthday party." Ruby, by the way, is the daughter of, her higher-up, and she then realizes that Agent Carter's daughter Ruby has her 9th birthday today, and that Carter's deaths would complete the Longlegs triangle. So Harker races to intervene, only to discover her mom has already delivered the doll to the family. They're already possessed, and after Carter murders his wife, Harker shoots and kills him to protect Ruby. Ruth then brandishes a dagger and tries to kill her, and she praises Satan, but she is shot in the face as well, and she dies. And Jesus Christ, that shocked me. Like, I did not expect her to kill her own mum. I kind of expected her to, like, snap out of it and just be like, "No, don't do it, you can be good, you know, you're supposed to be like a nun." Harky then attempts to shoot the doll, but she finds her gun not firing, because it's now out of bullets. She tells Ruby they need to leave, but remains frozen in place, staring at the doll, as Ruby waits behind her, and we hear the heavy breathing of Longlegs, because he's in the doll, looking at her, because he is everywhere. One little piece of him is now everywhere. And yeah, that's how the film ends. And that bloody shocked me. Like, it was insane having to experience that in the cinemas, because I was not expecting it. Like, I was expecting some kind of simple ending, you know, a happy ending. No, this is not one of those films. This is a bleak ending. Her mom's dead. She was the accomplice all along. Her higher-up's dead. She's probably going to be blamed for the murders, because, let's face it, like, the kid ain't going to testify. She's lost her mind now, probably. She's going to be like the other girl who is in the psychiatric ward who jumped off the top of it earlier. And yeah, it's such a bleak ending to a movie, and I feel it really, really does work. At the same time as making me kind of annoyed. Like, I like a good bleak ending every now and then, but this one kind of felt like a bit too much. Not sure, it is an amazing ending to an amazing movie. I would have kind of liked the happy ending. You know, I would have liked something. Maybe even the cliffhanger for a part 2. You know, that they could definitely work around and do something else in this universe. Maybe the killings continue and Harker has to try and figure out how maybe Longlegs will return from the grave. You never know. But, yeah, that's my spoiler review for Longlegs. What do you guys think about the movie? Let me know in the comments below if you have seen the movie, which you should have if you're watching the spoiler review. If you haven't and you watched this for some reason, please still go watch it. My criticisms and, like, my explanation of the plot really shouldn't be, like, an excuse for you not to go watch the movie. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. What did you guys think of Longlegs? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, thank you for watching the video. Bye-bye.